infected blood.
First Minister, you will recognise, as most of us here do, that the contaminated blood scandal is one of the great and terrible scandals that's occurred. You'll also be pleased to, I'm sure, to welcome the commencement at long last of the contaminated blood inquiry. As the inquiry started, the UK government announced a financial package of support, until it turned out that that financial package only applies to England, that it appears that Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland are an afterthought and are not included within it, that there is no new money, no new funding, no new consequential. And this, First Minister, must be one of the most cruel and reckless activities by the UK government, raising expectations while not providing any financial support. First Minister, will you urge the UK government, firstly, to ensure that there is new money, proper money, to find these people who deserve it, there is proper provision for the widows, and can you inform this chamber what discussions, what contacts you have had from the UK government, because they are certainly writing in correspondence that there are negotiations about to start?
Well, I'd like to thank the member for those very important questions. Let me begin by agreeing with him that, of course, we welcome the establishment of the inquiry chaired by Sir Brian Langstaff. I'm pleased to be able to report to the Chamber that the Welsh Government has secured core participant status in the inquiry, which gives us extra rights of access to the inquiry. And the inquiry, I understand, intends to come to Wales on the 23rd of July and will spend 4 days here, taking evidence directly from those affected and those infected in the contaminated blood scandal. And we will do whatever we can as a Welsh Government to assist people to make sure that they can put their case to the inquiry. But to go to the specific point the member raised, on the 21st of January this year, a meeting was held, chaired by the Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster, at which it was agreed that there was a need for a UK-wide approach with parity for all those affected. And that meeting was attended by Scotland, by Wales and by UK ministers. And we came away from that meeting having signed up to that proposition and made efforts to secure further meetings beyond the 21st of January. However, on the 30th of April, the first day of the infected blood inquiry, the UK government made a unilateral announcement of additional funding for English patients only. There was no consultation, there was no prior ministerial notice, and it was a breach of the agreement that had been reached on the 21st of January. We've since had a letter from a junior minister at the Department of Health. It takes your breath away, really, when she says to us, I believe, she says, that we could all benefit from greater dialogue and cooperation on these matters. It beggars belief, really, that such a letter could be sent to us when they had done exactly the opposite. The campaigners, the charities and campaign groups who had been part of the meeting on the 21st of January have since written to the Prime Minister saying that their understanding was that those discussions were for the whole of the United Kingdom. We assumed, they said, that the decision involved devolved administrations and have learned with a mixture of disappointment, anger and frustration that that has turned out not to be the case. Now, Llywydd, during the first decade of devolution, the government at the UK level observed scrupulously the agreement that anything that had happened prior to devolution was a cost on the UK government. Things that have happened since devolution, of course, are a cost on us here. The awful scandal in contaminated blood happened many, many years before devolution, and the devolution rules seem to me unambiguously to require that if money is provided by the UK government for patients in England, then the same help must be available to patients throughout the United Kingdom, and we will continue to make that case as vigorously as we can with UK ministers.